Good afternoon. This is Ms. Srimanti Waterwell, and today we will be reading the poem Rain on the Roof and analyzing it in details. Before going into the details of the poem, let us talk a little bit about its poet, Coates Kinney. Coates Kinney was predominantly an American journalist, lawyer, and politician. He also wrote poems, and out of all the poems that he wrote, Rain on the Roof is the one which is the most popular, and it has been widely read all over the world by adult as well as children alike. Now, this poem has also been set to music and has been sung as a song in a wide variety of countries where English is predominantly spoken. Now, getting back to the poem Rain on the Roof. Rain on the Roof talks about a physical phenomenon which is not a mere physical phenomenon but also has or also carries a lot of emotional and nostalgic elements in it. That physical phenomenon is rain. If you ask yourself, each of us have very unique and special emotions when it comes to rain. Some are depressed by rain, some are happy by it, some feel that rain has a lot of romantic elements, some feel that rain carries a lot of depressing elements. Some some are frustrated by it, are reminded of past memories which are sad. Some are happy by it, some are enlightened by it, and they consider rain as a blessing, they consider rain as a carrier of bliss. Now, in this particular poem, the poet talks about the emotions he feels when he experiences rain. When he's sitting inside in his cottage, listening to the rainfall, listening to the sound of the rain falling on the roof, he thinks about or he reminisces about his past, and a lot of happy memories come rushing back. That is what the poet feels, or that is what the poet experiences when it comes to his experience with rain. We will start reading the poem and then we can get a better understanding of what the poet feels. When all the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. So, here the poet has given a human face to rain. According to him, and this is a very common emotion, this is a very common element when it comes to rain, something which a lot of poets have talked about. They consider rain as the tears that fall from the skies. Rain is an emotion, rain is an expression of emotion, and when the sky or the clouds feel sad, they express it through rain. And that is what the poet has spoken about in this particular line as well. He says, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres. Humid shadows because rain brings a lot of humidity, and when when rain comes, when it's cloudy, automatically the sunlight or the starry nights are all covered, and all that we can experience is darkness. So when these humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, so we can understand from this particular line that the time of the day is night, because the poet was able to see the sky which was filled with stars, but as soon as it started becoming cloudy, the starry sky was covered in darkness and it was completely cloudy. All that one could see were clouds and darkness. And the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. So, this darkness is not a happy darkness, it is melancholic, it is sad, it is emotional, because the poet associates sadness, melancholia, nostalgia with rain. So, when it is humid, when we cannot hear a single sound anywhere, it is then, or it is that kind of calmness that signals the arrival of rain. And at that particular time, when it is dark and when it is melancholic everywhere, rain comes and the clouds signal its arrival. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Now, poet feels that it is the most beautiful emotion in the world, it is the happiest feeling in the world when one sits quietly in his or her bedroom, lying on the bed, listening to the sound of the rain falling on the roof. And the sound that the rain makes is very soft. So this is a drizzle. It has not started raining heavily, so it is drizzling. Thus the sound that is made by the rain is very soft and smooth, and it brings calmness to the poet's heart. It brings sweetness in his mind. It brings peace to him. It soothes him. That is why he considers it to be the happiest emotion in the world, to just lie quietly on his bed listening to the sound of the rain falling on the roof. The sound that the rain makes is a pitter patter because it is falling on the roof. So here we get an example of onomatopoeia. We will discuss the figure of speech in detail once we finish the reading of the poem. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. So each and every sound that the rain makes actually evokes a particular emotion in the poet's heart. So the poet can actually feel the emotions resonating in him with the sound of the rain falling on the roof. And 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. So with the falling of the rain, the poet's imagination, the poet's fantasies, the poet's nostalgia start running smoothly, and the poet starts dreaming, the poet starts fantasizing about his past, about his present, about his future, and according to him, this is what the rain does to him. On a normal day, the poet would not have dreamt or fantasized about any of these things, but as soon as it starts raining, rain kind of brings these dreams and fantasies and imaginary wanderings in the poet's mind, and that is what the poet starts doing. He starts recollecting, he starts reminiscing, he becomes nostalgic about his past, and he remembers the happy days that he had experienced in the past. He remembers all the happy memories that he had shared with his family, with his friends, and this is all the work of rain. So he says that as soon as it starts raining, 1,000 dreams and fantasies and 1,000 recollections are being spun by his mind, are spun by his heart. As I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone. So we can assume that the poet's mother has expired, the poet's mother has passed away, but he does not remember her as an old woman. He remembers her as this young woman, the way she was many years back, and that is the memory of his mother that is suddenly evoked by the sound of the falling rain upon the roof. And what does he remember about his mother? He remembers how his mother used to come into the room where her children would sleep, and how she would regard them with a lot of love, with a lot of fondness. She would sing lullabies to them, she would ensure that they slept peacefully, and she would look at them with a lot of care and love, something that the poet misses, because at the present moment he does not have anyone in his life who loves him as much as his mother did before she passed away. So that is what the poet is saying. As she used in years agone, as in years that has gone by, to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. So who are the darling dreamers? The darling dreamers are her children. Children who are dreaming, and they are darling to her, they are beloved, they are loved by her, and she would look at them fondly, but she would not disturb them, and she would let them dream, she would let them sleep till dawn. But she would look at them with a lot of love, and she would come to the room to ensure that they slept peacefully and that their dreams and sleep was not disturbed by any outside elements. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain. List here is listen. And what is this refrain? Refrain is repetition. So the rain, the sound that the rain makes is a refrain, because there is no variety to the sound. It is the same sound. So when the poet listens to the sound made by the rain that falls on the shingles, falls on the roof, he remembers his mother. He remembers the happy days that he spent with his mother, and he remembers how loved he was by her, how much she loved and cared for all her children, and the fond look, the way she would look at them with a look that carried a lot of love and care, something that the poet misses in his present days. So that's what he says, that when he closes his eyes and he listens to the sound of the rain, he can again feel his mother near him, can again feel that loving look upon his face, and he is lost in his reminiscences. He's lost in his nostalgic emotions. He's lost in the past, and he feels happy again because he can feel his mother near him. He can feel her presence. He can feel her fondness and love for him, and he again feels happy when it starts raining. Rain usually brings a lot of nostalgia. Rain usually brings a lot of melancholic emotions for the poet, but as soon as he remembers his mother, as soon as he feels her close to him, he again starts feeling happy, and he again starts feeling loved as much as he was by his mother in the past. So basically this is what the poet is trying to tell us through this poem. He talks about the emotions evoked by rain, and the particular emotion that he feels when it starts raining, how he associates rain with the memories of his mother and the kind of happiness that rain brings upon in his life, because rain again reminds him of his mother and he again feels her close to his heart. We will just go over the figures of speech once. Humid shadows hover is alliteration because the sound her has been repeated. Starry spheres, again the sound s has been repeated, so it's alliteration. Okay, melancholy darkness is transferred epithet. Why? Because the feeling of melancholia is associated with a human being. It is the poet who is feeling melancholic. Darkness is not capable of feeling any emotion. So the emotion that was felt by the poet has been transferred to darkness, which is why this is known as transferred epithet. Press the pillow, again repetition of sound per, so alliteration. Into busy being start, repetition of sound ber, alliteration. Darling dreamers, repetition of sound der, so alliteration again. Lie listening, again alliteration. Now patter is onomatopoeia. What is onomatopoeia? When the sound made by a particular object is similar to the pronunciation of the word. For example, in this case patter, the sound made by the rain is also pitter patter, and the word also is known as patter. So this is an example of onomatopoeia. We can take for example the sound made by the watch, tick tock, and the sound is also known as tick tock. So here we have an onomatopoeia. Or if you think about Hindi words like chan chan or khan khan, the sound made by bangles is chan chan. The sound is also called chan chan. So in this case we have an example of onomatopoeia. And at last we have and 1,000 recollection and 1,000 dreamy fantasies. This is an example of hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech which talks about exaggeration. So of course the poet is not flooded by exactly 1,000 dreams or 1,000 fantasies or 1,000 memories. He might be thinking about one or two things, but he is exaggerating the emotions, or he is exaggerating the number of memories that he is experiencing, which is why this particular figure of speech is hyperbole.